सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शांति मंत्र। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यात् मामा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we saw how Satyakama was blessed by the different devatas as a result of Shraddha as well as Tapasya. The faith that he had in the words of the teacher was said, who gave him 400 weak emaciated cows and plagued them. And he himself said, I will not come back until these cows grow into 1,000. That happened. And then a bull among these told or spoke to Satyakama, Hey Satyakama, we have grown to 1,000. Please lead us back to the Gurukulam, to the house of the teacher. And it is explained how that bull was nothing but the manifestation of the wind god Vayudevata. And Vayudevata said, the wind god said, as bull, that I will also teach you 1/4 of Brahman, 1/4 of the Virat Purusha, Saguna Brahman, 1/4 or 1/4 of Brahman with attributes. And then Vayudevata taught him how to meditate upon Brahman. one quarter of Brahman is manifest in these four quarters. The north, south, east, west, four directions are there. There are also manifestations of Brahman. Because the Vayu, the air, moves in all the directions. And that is how he taught. So, Prachedik Kala, Pratichedik Kala, that the east direction is one part of Brahman, the west direction one part of Brahman, the north and the south. And that is called Prakashavan. This manifestation of Brahman as different directions or quarters is Prakashavan. It is the radiant manifestation of Ishvara. And then said that now next Agni of the fire god will teach you, give you the further instruction. So next day again, as we said, Satyakama woke up early morning, finished his early morning chores and prayers, and took the cows, moved them, drove them in the direction of the Gurukulam. Came the evening, he performed his evening homa, sat down at the fire, near the fire, facing east directions, with eyes closed, and started meditating. At that time, that Agni Vabhivada, the fire god said, Hey Satyakama, I will now give you instruction about another quarter of Brahman. So Prithvi, Antariksham and Devhu, Samudra, the four worlds are, that's what Agni said, the four worlds are the four manifestations of Brahman. Anta Anantavannamadadi, infinite manifestation. So infinity that Brahman is, or limitless that Brahman is, manifests as this earth, the Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha and Samudra. There is vastness in all of them. And Hamsaha, Aditya will come and he will give you the instruction about the next quarter. Next day again, same evening. So Hamsaha, Aditya came as Hamsa or Swan. So he flew and landed before Satyakama. So, hey Satyakama, yes sir, I will give you instruction about another one quarter of Brahman. Revere sir, may please teach me. Says, Surya hai, Chandra hai, Vidyut, Agni. The Devatas. The fire is the presiding deity of earth. Vayu the presiding deity of the intermediate world. Surya the presiding deity of heaven. And then the fourth one also is Vidyut, the lightning. Jyotishman, effulgent manifestation of Brahman, infinite manifestation of Brahman, radiant manifestation of Brahman. So now Madguhu, meaning an aquatic bird who was nothing other than Prana, he will give you the instruction about the remaining quarter of Brahman. So there is also a bird. Again next evening that bird came flying and landed before Satyakama. So, hey Satyakama, yes sir. So I wish to tell you now the fourth quarter of Brahman. The revered sir, may please tell me. Prana Kala, Chakshuhu Kala, Shrotram Kala, Manah Kala. At the individual level, the four manifestations of Brahman, the Prana, Chakshuhu, Shrotram, Manah, the mind, Ayatanavan, so this is the abode. So the Brahman, which is the abode, manifests in this way. And thus Satyakama received the teaching or instruction about how to meditate upon Brahman, Saguna Brahma, with 16 kalas, 16 days. And he must have meditated. In course of time, then he reached Gurukulam. Prapa Acharya Kulam. Satyakama reached the Acharya Kulam, the house of the teacher. He came back to the ashram of the teacher. Tam Acharya Abhivada. Then the teacher asked him or called him, Hey Satyakama. Bhagavaha, yes sir. Then Acharya made an observation. Brahmavit eva Somya me bhasi. Hey Somya, oh dear, oh good looking one, you look like a Brahmavit, a knower of Brahman, one who is realized Brahman. That's how you look like. So how did Acharya recognize or determine that Satyakama had realized Brahman? So Bhashyakara says, how does a person who has realized Brahman, who is identified with Brahman, how does he look like? Prasannendriyaha prahasitavadanasya nischintaha kritarthaha brahmavid bhavati. Nor of Brahman, nor of Ishvara. He is prasannendriyaha. His indriyas, organs are very tranquil. Prahasita vadanaha. There is smile on his face. Nischintaha. He is free from all anxieties. Krutarthaha. And he is completely contented with himself. Nischintaha, free from all anxieties. Contented. He is in the present. He is happy, basically he is happy with himself. Because he has discovered the fullness from within himself. That's the whole idea. The idea here is to tap into the fullness which is one's own self. And that self is nothing but Brahman or Ishvara. And therefore, Ishvara is manifest outside, Ishvara is manifested my own self. And is instructed when Satyakama must have just meditated deeply. And already he had the Antahkarana Shuddhi, the purification of mind was there. On account of living a life of penance for so long, and serving the cows, which is also another thing. Cow is considered to be a very special animal. Apart from the fact that, of course, human being's life is totally dependent upon the cow, at least in those days. Because cow gives whatever you need. The male and the female cow includes both of them. The female cow gives milk and all products of milk. Not only that, but gives also the cow dung and the cow urine. All of these are very precious and useful in variety of things, including in performing yajna or homa. So when you perform homa or fire ritual, you make offerings to devatas. And many of the offerings are nothing but milk products. The milk is offered, curd is offered, ghee is offered. And that cow dung, you make cakes out of them that are also used as fuel. Of course, cow urine is most well known as also a great, has a great medicinal value. It's interesting that somebody made an observation that these cowherd people who always tend to the cows, they never get sick because they one way or the other somehow, they have contact with urine and cow dung. You can't escape that with the cow. You don't know when the thing will do what. So therefore, that is the reason why they are always healthy, because this constant contact with the cow dung and cow urine keeps them healthy. And the male cow, of course, is responsible, helpful in agriculture, tilling the soil. And you get the grains which are also used for offering in the yajna. And of course for sustenance of the life. And the Vedic belief is that the whole universe is sustained by yajna. Yajna means this sacrifice, which is worship of devatas in that form. Yajnat bhavanti. So yajnat annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyat. This is a belief that this yajna, performance of yajna, is what brings about the parjanya or the rain, which gives rise to the grains, which gives rise to the life, etc. So thus this yajna sustains the whole universe and cow sustains the yajna. And therefore, naturally for those people, the blessings of the cow was very evident because their life centered around that. So natural that cow is worshipped, and they think that in fact in the body of the cow reside all the devatas. So worshipping and serving cow is something very special. So teacher was served through the service of the cows. That was also very special blessings Satyakama received. And so all the devatas also became, because all devatas are there supposedly in the body of the cow. So when they worship the cow, then they invoke all the different devatas from different limbs and organs of the cow. So these devatas naturally became very pleased with him. And of course, every day was tending to fire and making offerings to devatas. So that way also devatas were worshipped by him. And so thus that is how Antahakana Shuddhi and then the very effulgence that devatas have necessarily came to him. And thus, as he kept on identifying with Ishvara in all these manifestations, the presence of Ishvara expands in your life. And ultimately, as your own self also, as we said, you tap into the wholeness which is everywhere. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. What is Brahman? That being the case, you become pleased with, because you are always pleased with Ishvara, and as you appreciate Ishvara out there as your own self, then there is naturally happiness, contentment. And when you are happy with yourself, you are happy with everything else. When you are content with yourself, you will be content with everything. No complaints. All our complaints are basically coming from complaints which we have with our own self. All the dissatisfaction with the world comes from dissatisfaction with ourselves. As you discover yourself as nothing but manifestation of fullness, then you find happiness with yourself, contentment with yourself. So naturally you are pleased with yourself, pleased with everything. That's evident on your face also as cheerfulness. And that happiness, cheerfulness manifests to the whole personality, including all the sense organs, the prasanna indriya, tranquility of the organs. His face also shows that joy. His mind is free from all anxieties because he is happy with the present. Kritartho, contented with himself. Brahmavid bhavati. So the teacher, these are the signs of a knower of Brahman. So Acharya, Brahmavid iva bhasiti. Hey Satyakama, you look like a knower of Brahman, you realize Brahman. Then came the question. Konatva anushasayati. Hey, who taught you? Who imparted knowledge to you? So the question is, now Tvat acharyam avajnaya mam avajnaya Mashishyantum kahanya manusyo mashapat abhitaha shishyatven adaya anusasanam kritavan. Who dare to teach you, knowing that you are my disciple? And if they teach you, then he would know that I would curse them, shapa. Who is it who is not afraid of my curse, my displeasure, and give you this teaching, impart the teaching to you? Who is that? who is not afraid, knowing fully well that you are my disciple. So they just confronted him. And so Satyakama said, Anye manushebhya iti. Oh Venerable Sir, no human being taught me, those other than human beings have taught me. Devatas have taught me. Devatas came to me on their own and gave me instruction. Not that I went and no other human being came. Nobody has infringed upon your territory. The Devatas, gods came. So if some human being did it, and if also Satyakama receives knowledge from some other human being, maybe that would have been a question, but here no. Other than human being, the Devatas came and taught me. Says, Ka anya bhagavad shishyam mam anushasana utsahedayati. Who dare teach me? Who is your disciple? Who other human being would dare teach me? Therefore, I haven't received this knowledge from any other human being. Then he says, Bhagavan swayame kame bruyat. That Venerable Sir, may you please teach me to fulfill my worship of gaining your knowledge, the reverence of Venerable Sir, you please teach me. Say, Anyahi uktam naham tad ganayamiti. That I don't consider in great esteem what is told by someone other than you. Therefore, you please teach me. So then question is, okay, number one. Number two, this is another thing that I have heard. Now this is a famous passage. Shutam yevame bhagavad drishebhya. I have heard from great sages like you. Acharyadhya vidya vidyata sadhishtam prapadati. That only when the knowledge is gained from Acharya, only when the knowledge is received from one's own teacher, that it becomes the best, not otherwise. So, Acharyadhya vidya vidyata sadhu. Then, sadhyas sadhishta. Sadhu means good. Sadhyas better. Sadhishta best. The knowledge gained from one's Acharya alone becomes the best. Acharya adhinadhireva phalavati iti atash. Therefore, so here Satyakama says the knowledge that one has gained from the Acharya alone really becomes fruitful, bring about fulfillment and not otherwise. And therefore, please teach me. So, this dialogue says something that apparently knowledge should come from the teacher. So, Acharya adhinadi phalavati. Only when this instruction, the teaching comes from a teacher, that then alone it really brings about its results and not otherwise. It's not something that you read, something that you listen and whatever. It has there was no tape recorders anywhere, there was no other means of listening. And then you are in person, you receive it from the teacher. So apparently what this seems to convey is that it is not simply the words, but these words or teaching coming from the teacher. So these words carry something more than simply the meaning of the words. Otherwise you could read the same thing also. Or you could listen to it in some other way also. But this says, when they come from Acharya, then they come from a live teacher. And again, as we said, what is here by teacher we mean that a disciple has the right attitude for the teacher. He looks upon him as a teacher. As Arjuna discovered for Lord Krishna, Shishyasteyam Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam. O Lord, I am your disciple, please teach me. So then Arjuna discovered a disciple in himself, discovered a teacher in Lord Krishna, and therefore a new relationship was established. Arjuna and Lord Krishna were bosom friends for a long time. And still they did not have the relationship of the disciple and the teacher. Today that relationship was established. Now whatever Lord Krishna would say would have a different weight. Lord Krishna, what I said, a lot of things in the past also. He was always a mentor, he was a friend, philosopher and guide. But today, his place was that of a teacher. And then when the words come, so they bring something along with them. So, apparently teacher imparts. So it comes from the teacher meaning, as Kathopanishad says, Ananya prokte gatiratra nasti. Because teacher only unfolds himself and unfolds the very self of the disciple also. So, they are the words which carry with them the conviction of the truth. So they don't merely remain words, but the truth is conveyed through them. A right attitude of the disciple receives them, so that is when they reveal their meanings. We said some time ago that the knowledge takes place when the words reveal their meaning in our mind. So words should reveal their meaning. When do they reveal the meaning? There is a very famous statement from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yasya deve parabhaktihi yatha deve tatha gurau tasyete kathita hyarthaha prakashante mahatmanah. Yasya deve parabhaktihi, one who has a supreme devotion for Ishvara. Meaning you want to know Ishvara, naturally devotion for Ishvara is a must. Yatha deve tatha gurau. The same kind of supreme devotion one has for Guru also. But that is from where the knowledge of Ishvara comes. So Guru is the link between the disciple and Ishvara. Of course, Guru's job is to connect us with Ishvara. Because ultimately we don't know Ishvara. But Ishvara has to manifest himself in my mind. And who is Ishvara? Who is Atman? Nothing but the meaning of those words. As we said earlier, what is Upanishad? Nothing but the words. Upanishads are the subject matter, is the self or Ishvara. So, what we call vichara, it takes place through these statements of Upanishads. And when they reveal their meaning, that is when the knowledge takes place. So knowledge requires not only our effort in terms of exposing ourselves to the teaching, but also the words have to reveal themselves in my mind. When the mind has the right kind of disposition, and that disposition is described in that verse. Then when the mind has the supreme devotion for the Lord and a similar devotion for the teacher. Tasyete kathita hyartha prakashante mahatmanah. Tasya mahatmanah, of that great soul, talking about the disciple, is said Mahatma. In the mind of that Mahatma, kathita hyartha, all the words that we have told, they reveal their meanings. So knowledge takes place when the words reveal their meaning in my mind. We talked about it this morning. So it's a joint project between myself and of course Ishvara whom I want to know, because these words, the meaning of His grace is required. That there that a combination of the teacher and the student. So when that happens, that is when the knowledge takes place, and that knowledge is the most efficient knowledge. That is the most fulfilling knowledge. So therefore it said here, Acharya Dhe Vidya Vedita Sadhishtam Prapadati. I have heard from sages, revered sages like you, that only when the knowledge comes from Acharya, that it becomes the most effective, most fulfilling. And the please teach me. Meaning that I don't consider at all, the thing that is taught by others, even whether devatas or no devatas. I want the knowledge from you. Tasmai etat uvacha. Then the teacher says the same thing apparently. Now the teacher gave a different kind of vidya. Same vidya was given by the teacher. So then what happened? Did he really get the same? He says, yes, atra na kinchana vyayati, nothing was left out. So whatever devatas are told, same thing. So teacher says the same thing without leaving out anything. Meaning that Satyakama found no deficiency at all. He gained a complete fulfillment by the instruction of the teacher. So, Acharya Upadeshasya Sarthakatvam iti. This story tells us that Acharya Upadesha coming from Acharya, Sarthakam, that alone brings about the fulfillment. That's how the story of Satyakama is complete. And now we can proceed to the next one. On the page number 9. So then 4 chapters are complete. We are in the 5th chapter. We said the 5 chapters are the chapters in this Upanishad which talk about the upasana, the worship of Ishvara. It begins like this here. Yuhavai jeshtam ja shreshtam cha veda. No, you don't have that. I'm just reading that passage. Your Veda, one who knows, one who realizes, jeshtam cha shreshtam cha. Jeshtam the oldest, shreshtam the greatest. Jeshta oldest. In the Indian homes also, the elder brother of husband is called Jeshta in most languages, So, Jeshta or Jet, whatever, So, why? Because he is born earlier. The elder brother is born before, so it's called Jeshta. So, similarly also, one knows Jeshta, the oldest one. So, in this creation, whoever is the oldest, one who knows, meditates, realizes him, Shreshthascha, and the greatest. So, one who knows the oldest as well as the greatest, Jeshthascha Shreshthascha Bhavati. So you become what you meditate upon, you become what you identify with. If you identify with that which is the eldest as well as the greatest, you become the eldest and the greatest. So having said this, then it says Pranavava Jeshthascha Shreshthascha. This is being said in the context of meditation upon prana. Prana means vital air. Vital air at the individual level as well as the cosmic level. And said there are many meditations on prana or the vital air because that's what really runs this body as well as the whole universe. It is closest to seven. So it is manifested of Saguna Brahma and closest to Nirguna Brahma. Now, before prescribing meditation upon the prana, says prana is the Jeshta and Shreshta. Prana is the oldest and prana is the greatest. How is it so? So says here further, you have a Vasishtham Veda, one who meditates upon Vasishtha. Vasishtha is a word, can be derived from various things, but Vasu, Vasu means wealth. Vasundhara. Earth is called Vasundhara, one that contains or bears. Vasu means wealth. Because in the earth there are all kinds of wealth, within the earth. In terms of various precious stones and various, minerals and whatnot. So Vasu means wealth. So again Vasishtha, again the Ishta Pratyaya. So Vasishtha means the richest. So so Vasishtham Veda. One who meditates upon the richest also becomes the richest among his people. Who is the richest? Vagva Vasishtha. The speech is Vasishtha. How come? Vagvinohi Purushaha Vasanti Abhibhavanti Anyan Vasumattamam Shatah Vag Vasishtha. So Bhashyakara explains, how do you say that the speech is the richest? So he says, one who is an orator, who can speak well, Vasanti Abhibhavanti, he overcomes other people in all debates and also in arguments, etc. The one who is a good speaker, he is the one who overcomes others, who establishes superiority over others, and that's how he becomes the richest. Therefore, Vag or speech is Vasishtha. Yogi Pratishtham Veda. So Pratishtha means the establishment, Pratishtha. So one who knows or meditates upon Pratishtha becomes one in whom everything gets established. Chakshurvava Pratishtha. Pratishtha means that on which something is based, is called Pratishtha. So this floor, for example, is on which which supports me, is called Pratishtha. So what is it that supports everything? Chakshurvava Pratishtha. The eyes are Pratishtha. How is it so? Chakshushaya Pashan Samesha Durgeja Pratitishthati. A person remains stable only when he sees with the eyes. When you see with the eye, then you know that, hey, there is a pothole here, watch out. Oh, there is a hillock here. So then you watch the ground with the eyes, and that way, if you don't watch, either eyes are closed or you do not watch, then you are likely to fall in a hole, or you are likely to hit something, with a stone, etc. there. So what enables you to be established on the ground are the eyes. So eyes are Pratishtha. They established, the one that is support of everything, basis of everything. Yogi Sampadam Veda, one who meditates upon prosperity, he becomes prosperous. Who is prosperity? Shrotram Vava Sampat. The Shrotra is the most prosperous one. So how do you say that the ears, the faculty of hearing, is prosperity? Yasma Shrotrena Vedaha Gruhyante Tadartha Vijnanam Tatah Karmana Kriyante. See, it is you listen to Vedas from the teacher with your ears or faculty of hearing. And you also listen to the meaning of the Vedas also through the teacher. And that's how ears enable us to hear, listen to the Vedas and the meaning. And therefore the person who listens to Vedas knows the Vedas, the scriptures and the meaning. And then only he can perform the rituals. Then only he can perform actions. Then alone he can earn. That's how he can become rich. So it is Shrotram that enables us to become rich or richest. Ayatanam Veda, one knows the abode or the shelter, he becomes Ayatanam. So Manohabhava Ayatanam. The mind is said to be the abode of everything. How? Indriyoga Samhruta Upahrutanam Vishayanam. What happens is that sense organs bring all the knowledge. So the sense objects are there, and the objects that you want to enjoy, the enjoyable objects, the data is brought by sense organs into the mind, and then mind becomes one abode of all that. That's why mind is called the abode. So if you meditate upon mind as abode, so meditation is you meditate upon your speech as which is the richest. Meditate upon your eyes as a pratishtha, as a support, basis. Meditate upon your mind as the ayatanam, as a very abode. Meditate upon Shrotra as the sampat or the wealth. So here Upanishad says how each of these organs has these very special qualities. So each one is great. Eyes are also great, ears also are great, faculties are all great, mind also is great, speech is also great. So now who is greatest? So then here look at the passage, next passage on our page number 9, passage number 13. अतः प्राणाः अहं श्रेयसे व्युदिरे अहं श्रेयानस्मि अहं श्रेयानस्मीति. So another story is being told. So this is a way to communicate. A story is told to us for easy comprehension. So now with the story, so once upon a time, the organs disputed among themselves. Mainly what are the organs we started with? We started with speech. Next was then the eyes, ears and the mind. These four were mentioned. So once upon a time these organs started disputing with each other. And what? Regarding self-superiority. Aham shreyasi. How? Aham shreyanasmi. I am superior to everybody. So in ChhandogyaUpanishad, remember the devatas were claiming like this, that this victory is due to us. I told you the story of ChhandogyaUpanishad. And Yaksha appeared before them, a divine being appeared before them, and then they did not know. And then Brahma Vidya came and said, hey, your glory is due to glory of Ishvara. Here a similar story is being told in a different way. The sense organs now, but each organ is some greatness, no doubt about that. Because Vagvava Pratishtha, the organ of speech as Pratishtha, is richness in there. Chakshur, so Vasishtha, Vagvava, Chakshurva Pratishtha, Chakshu is nothing but the establishment. And then ears also have the richness, and mind is the abode of everything. So each one it possesses some, some specialty, some special quality, some power each one possesses, no doubt about that. I mean, it's a great gift that we have the sense organs. And human being has all the sense organs as compared to other people. They have eyes also, I guess. Ears also they have, but then with ears we listen to Veda, with scriptures. We know the meaning, and therefore we know how to perform our activities, how to perform the worship, how to perform day-to-day activities, and that's what makes us, perform actions and get the reward from that. And so also the speech. The human being is the only one who has got the speech with which we can articulate our thoughts. And with my speech then I can sell things. They can, so all these fellows, the salesmen, etc., the speech is their primary, weapon, isn't it? With which they become rich. All these fellows, the scientists, all these people who do the debates, who give lectures and things like that. Each one of these sense organs has greatness, no doubt about that. And so looks like then I'm the greatest among everybody. Nobody is like me. So this is how they started vying with each other, claiming superiority over others. Now they could not arrive at any kind of a decision, conclusion among themselves. So then you have to go to somebody who can in fact declare, who can judge who is the best or who is most superior. So the next passage says, Teha pranaha prajapatim pitaram etya uchuhu. Teha pranaha, all the sense organs. Prajapatim pitaram etya, Prajapati. who is the Pati or the father of all the Praja, all the living beings. Because Prajapati is one who has created all the living beings, and therefore is the father of all. So it's called Prajapati. The creator is called Prajapati. Pati means father or, so the protector. So they all went to Prajapati, who is their father. I mean, who is the senior most, the wisest among, in the whole world. All knowing is omniscient. Bhagavan Kona Shrestha iti. So when they will say, who is the greatest among us? Like children come and ask, sometimes. So when there is sometimes a children's program and then you give them some kind of a competition and then make a drawing and then come to you, Swamiji, whose one is best? So once we had we gave them a project, make an ashram, And so children really came up with that. There was a display. We gave them time and they displayed their own concept of what an ashram is. So then from one to the other I said, oh, beautiful, wonderful, this, that, and then we praised all of them. But they were not just happy with that. So this boy said, but Swamiji, who is the best? So this is a human being. He is not happy that he is good, he must be best. Because we compare ourselves with others. All of the various complexes within ourselves. And it is necessary for me to feel that not only I am good, I am better than others. I am the best among them, then I think that I am something. Then I feel satisfied with me. So basically, it is the ego gratification which is most important for a human being. And that's what they always, but in the West also, particularly, the children also are given that kind of a status. So this little thing is just going to, not even primary school, preschool, but they teach you, A, B, C, D, and then some spelling, CAT, cat, BAT, bat. So then there is a spelling. So he writes this little thing, CAT, 4 or 5 words he writes like this. Oh, he's a spelling champion, so they give him a certificate. This little one gets a certificate. I'm something. And so that is how, right from the childhood, ego gratification is the most important, self-gratification. And then so you feel a self-worth and so forth. Whether that's good, bad or indifferent is a different matter, but the thing is that you need that also. You need to feel good about yourself, and therefore, yes, to a large extent, to a great extent, the ego gratification always necessary. Then a point comes when that becomes a burden, then you have to shed it. But until then you have to get it. And then you have to, but here, anyway, so all these sense organs, they went to Prajapati and asked, who is the greatest among us? So Prajapati knows who is the greatest among them, but doesn't say in so many words. So this is political, so Pita, So what he said, Yasmin utkrante shariram papishthariva dusheda sabha shrestha. Prajapati did not clearly or openly say, you are the best. Because one of them is declared the best, naturally rest would feel, we are no good, they would be very sad, isn't it? So Prajapati wanted that they should recognize their, their worth by themselves. He did not want to risk hurting somebody. He didn't want to hurt somebody. If he said, you are the best, that would hurt the rest of them. So he was very clever. And he says, Yasmin utkrante shariram papishthataram bhavati. When he departs from this body, leaves the body the most despicable, most contemptible. So by departure of whom? The body becomes most despicable, most contemptible, most, dislikable. He is the best. And so, all right. So then, First of all, Savag Uchakrama. The speech says, I am the best. And the speech left the body. For 1 year, the organ of speech left the body. For 1 year, it was in exile. Knowing that without this body cannot function. It's because of me that the body functions. And therefore, it went away for 1 year and came back. Samvatsaram Proshya, living in exile for 1 year. Pariyetya, returning. Uvacha, then asked these people. Katham, then he found that the body was still functioning. Without the speech also, body was functioning. So a little disappointed, and so he thought, this speech thought that the body won't function without me. But realized that it was still functioning. So then asked, Katham asagata rote majjivitumidi. Hey, without me, how did you survive and how did you conduct yourself? Yatha akalaha avadantaha pranantaha pranayena pashyantaha. Just as a mute person or a dumb person who cannot speak. So when you left us, we became dumb, mute, could not speak. But pranantaha pranayena. But still they breathe with the prana. Pashyantaha chakshusha. They see with the eyes. Shrunta shrotrena, they hear with the ears. Dhyanto manasa, they think and meditate with the mind. So we did. Like a mute person, but the rest of faculties are intact. Therefore, with mind we could think. With ears we could hear. With eyes we could see. With prana we could breathe. Disappointed. That means that the organ of speech could not establish his supremacy, because Prajapati, father, had said that by your living, when the body cannot function, but it functioned very well, came and took its place. Chakshurha Uchakrama. Next is what? After speech comes a Chakshu. The faculty of seeing, the eyes departed. Again for 1 year went in exile. Pariyetya Uvacha, eyes came back and found that the body was still functioning without it also. What disappointed somewhat. And then asked, Katham asagata rute majjivitumiti. Hey, how did you continue to live without me? Yaha anyaha apashyantaha. Those who are blind without eyes and they do not see. Meaning there are people who do not see. Pranantaha prana, but continue to breathe with prana, continue to speak with the organ of speech, continue to listen or hear with the organ of hearing, and continue to think with the mind. So we did. And so the eyes recognize that, well, they can function without me. Meaning the body did not stop functioning, that means it's not the best. Came back, took its place. Shrotramu chakrama. Then the Shrotram, the faculty of hearing, left them. Let me see how you function without me. Went away for 1 year. And then must have been going around whatever it is and came back after 1 year. Found that these fellows were functioning without it. And so somewhat disappointed asked, hey, how did you continue to function without me? Yatha badhiraha ashrunmantaha. These are people who are deaf, they don't hear. But with the prana they breathe, with the eyes they see, with the ears they hear, with the mind they think. So we did. Okay, you did. Alright. And so the Shrotram, the faculty of hearing, also came back and took its place. Manoha Chakrama. Then the mind said, okay, without me you just cannot function. So mind left for 1 year in exile and came back. Found that the fellows were still functioning. Maybe functioning anyways. What happened? Katham ashagata hridaya majjivitumiti. Hey, you fellows, how did you live without me? Yatha balaha amanasaha. So like children, the mind is not developed. Like children we did. In whom the mind is not there, in the sense that the mind is not developed. This is Swamiji, children are all innocent. We make them like this. So children are all innocent. It is the parents and the society that, infuse in them all kinds of evil things. Children are not innocent. I tell you, it is only that all their mischief is not yet manifest. That's all. The mind has not yet evolved. It's just waiting for the time to evolve. And all kinds of things that are there in the mind due to their past karma will manifest. It's a matter of time. Other faculties also take time to evolve, but most of that takes place when the child is in the womb. And thereby we find the child with all, but it's not that eyes, they all develop in the womb also. Is it not so? So that's why when a child is, premature or something, then you find that some of the organs are not well developed. I told you the story of that Aruna, that his egg was broken. Instead of 1,000 years, the mother could not wait, so she broke the egg at 500 years. The body only half developed. But so also it's not that the child is innocent. We wish it was. And that's what I thought Gautam Buddha's parents thought that way. We will not expose our son to any evil of this universe endeavor. He was protected. So what? It's all there. Just to manifest. All you require is a trigger, that's all. When triggers came, everything came, and so. But anyway, so they said like a child will live. Child doesn't think. But when the karma manifests, then everything will come. In fact, the child also displays kind of characteristics that are going to in future, because they say that the lakshana on the character of child are evident even when the child is in the crib, Some of the things that, people can recognize how this fellow is going to be. Or he's after his father, after his mother, after his uncle, whatever it is. But here the story is that when the mind asks, how did you survive without me for the whole year? Just as like children who do not have mind, sort of. And how they function? They see with their eyes, speech with their, whatever they speak and whatever they hear, they did, so also we did. So mind also was disappointed and came back and took its place. Meaning that each of these 4 organs, which had all gone to Prajapati, seeking to know who is the best among them, the criterion that Prajapati gave them, whose departure the body cannot function, become most despicable, that's the best among you, and none of them could prove their superiority compared to others. And then what happens next? That will continue tomorrow. Who is the most superior? So that's what the next passage will tell us. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.